City's most dangerous legend. This is the full, tragic rise and fall of David Martinez in Cyberpunk, Edgerunners, a kid who should have had a normal life, but got dragged into a neon-lit meat grinder that eats people and spits out chrome. A dream Night City couldn't afford. David starts as a broke kid in Night City with a mom who believes he deserves more. Gloria drives ambulances through gang shootouts and corporate war zones so she can pay for his tuition at Arasaka Academy, an elite corpo school for future executives, not kids from the barrio. But David doesn't belong there. The rich kids mock his cheap gear, his pirated software, his clothes, and especially his lack of money. Every hallway reminds him that he's the outsider, barely tolerated in a world built for people who will one day own the city. Imagine high school, but your classmates don't just flex designer clothes, they flex corporate bloodlines. Gloria's dream is simple. Keep David away from gangs and implants, away from the streets, and push him into a safe, boring corpo life. She wants him to survive Night City by playing its game from the top floor, not the gutter. But in this city, safe is an illusion people cling to right before everything falls apart. The crash. One night, no second chances. That everything collapses in a single night. David and Gloria are driving home. Tension thick in the air from another argument about school and money. Then, chaos hits. Out of nowhere, their car gets caught in a violent firefight between cybered-up mercs and corporate forces on the highway. Gunfire shreds the air. Explosions flip metal like toys. Their car is destroyed, thrown into carnage they never asked to be part of. Gloria is critically injured. David is barely conscious, disoriented, hearing gunfire through the ringing in his ears. Then, the heroes of Night City drop in. Trauma Team, the premium emergency service. They check her vitals, they check her insurance status, and then they leave. In Night City, if your credit's low, your life is too. David ends up in a cheap clinic, patched together. When he wakes up, they hand him the truth with the same indifference they hand him the bill. His mom is dead. No dramatic rescue, no miracle surgery, just a number in a system that decided she wasn't worth saving. He returns to the tiny apartment they shared. Her uniform is still hanging. Her things are still where she left them. But the future she scraped and bled for disappears overnight. The Sandevistan. Grief, chrome, and bad choices. While sorting through Gloria's belongings, David finds a secret. A high-end piece of cyberware hidden away. A Sandevistan spinal implant. This isn't cosmetic chrome. It's military-grade hardware that lets you move at insane speed, turning combat into slow motion. It's basically a built-in cheat code, with a huge downside. Most bodies and brains can't handle it. Overuse can fry your nervous system and send you sliding into cyberpsychosis. David has nothing. No mom, no school, no money. Just this illegal implant and his anger. So he does exactly what Gloria never wanted. He goes to a Ripper doc and demands to have the Sandevistan jammed into his spine. No evaluation, no caution. Just grief, rage, and desperation. This is the moment David stops trying to live his mom's dream and starts building his own slow-motion suicide. With the implant installed, he tests it in the most emotionally charged way possible. He returns to Arasaka Academy. When the rich bully who tormented him tries to push him again, David activates the Sandevistan. Time slows. He blitzes the guy with brutal efficiency, beating him senseless before anyone can react. It's satisfying, and it's a massive mistake. Arasaka doesn't see a victim fighting back. They see a poor kid with illegal hardware. David gets expelled and marked as trouble. Now he's broke, alone, and carrying stolen chrome that'll draw predators from every corner of Night City. Lucy, the Netrunner, and the Hook. On a tired, lonely train ride, David meets Lucy. She's cool, mysterious, and too sharp to be safe. A Netrunner who sees more than she says. She notices the way he moves, the way his Sandevistan hums beneath the surface. She pulls him into a hustle, use his speed to take down corpo targets on the train, while she hacks into their cyberware and steals their data. It's risky and illegal, but for David, it feels like the first time his implant gives him something other than pain and trouble. In a city built on scams, the first person who gets you is usually also using you. Their fun doesn't last. David gets snatched up by a crew of actual Edgerunners, a mercenary team that's been operating these streets long before he ever slotted his first chip. Their leader, Maine, is huge, heavily augmented, and very interested in David's Sandevistan. It used to be his. Gloria had arranged to sell it to him before she died. Maine could rip the implant out and dump David's body in an alley. But he doesn't. He sees something in the kid, an insane tolerance for chrome and the guts to use it. He gives David a choice. Join the crew and pull your weight. Or don't. And find out what happens to thieves in Night City. David joins. The crew, family on borrowed time. Suddenly, David has something he hasn't had since Gloria died. A crew. Maine is the tough, battle-scarred leader who hides a real sense of responsibility under his gruff exterior. Dorio, his partner, is the muscle and the anchor, always trying to hold the team together. Kiwi is the calm, experienced Netrunner. Rebecca is a tiny, trigger-happy lunatic with a heart buried under foul language. Pilar, her brother, is the tech head and the comic relief. And Lucy, still the most mysterious of them all, but now she's on his side, mostly. They run jobs together, heists, escorts, data thefts. David trains under Maine, learning to use the Sandevistan with precision instead of raw emotion. Slowly, he proves himself. The crew stops seeing him as a clueless kid and starts seeing him as an asset. For a moment, it almost feels like David broke free of the script Night City wrote for him. One night, Lucy lets him into her world. She takes him into a brain dance of the moon, her dream escape. David feels the low gravity, sees Earth hanging in the sky, experiences a world where Night City is a distant dot instead of a constant threat. For Lucy, the moon isn't just cool scenery, it's freedom. Freedom from Arasaka, from the streets, from the entire nightmare. David is hooked, not just on her, but on the idea that maybe, just maybe, there's a way out of all this. The Tanaka job, Maine's last stand. Then comes the job that pushes everything over the edge. The crew is hired to kidnap Tanaka, a high-level Arasaka executive, and pull sensitive data out of his brain. It's a high-risk, high-reward mission. Exactly the kind that makes legends or corpses. They grab Tanaka, but diving into his mind reveals horrible secrets, including connections to Lucy's past as part of Arasaka's child Netrunner program. The deeper she goes, the more dangerous it gets. In the middle of this pressure cooker, Maine starts to break. Years of stacking chrome finally catch up to him. He glitches. He hallucinates. He becomes unpredictable and violent. Classic cyberpsychosis. Dario tries to pull him back, reminding him of their bond, their crew, their history. The city doesn't care. Cyberware promises power. It never mentions the interest you'll pay in sanity. As Arasaka forces close in, someone has to stay behind. Maine sends David and Lucy away, choosing to cover their escape. Dario refuses to abandon him and dies in the chaos, shot down in front of the man she trusted. That loss snaps the last thread of Maine's mind. In a final act of defiant fury, loaded with explosives and heavy weapons, he takes out as many enemies as he can before going down. Maine dies the way he lived, loud, stubborn, and on his own terms. And David is left behind with another ghost on his shoulders. Time skip. David takes the lead. Time jumps forward. David is no longer the skinny kid with one implant. He's bigger, more heavily augmented, and wearing some of Maine's old chrome-like armor and inheritance. His reputation has exploded on the street. He's now the one people call when a job needs a high-tier edgerunner. He leads what's left of the crew. Rebecca stays by his side, guns ready. New faces come and go. Kiwi still floats in and out on jobs. The missions are bigger and deadlier, and David keeps stacking more hardware to keep up. Maine warned him not to make the same mistakes. David honors him by making them faster. In the background, a fixer named Faraday starts shaping their fate. He's slick, polished, and as loyal as a coin toss. He connects David's crew to Militech for jobs targeting Arasaka, pulling them into corporate warfare they don't fully understand. Meanwhile, Lucy grows distant. She spends less time with the crew and more time quietly assassinating netrunners and wiping data connected to David. Because she knows something he doesn't. Arasaka is interested in him. Not as a person, but as an experiment. Lucy's secret and Arasaka's interest. Lucy finally reveals the truth. As a kid, she was part of an Arasaka program that raised children to dive deep into the net, far beyond where normal runners can go without dying. She escaped. It's why she hates Arasaka so much and why she's terrified of them discovering David. Tanaka, the exec they snatched, was tied to those projects. He knew that David's rare compatibility with the Sandevistan made him valuable. Arasaka doesn't want to kill David. They want to own him, pick him apart, and replicate whatever makes him so special. To Lucy, David is the boy who shared her dream of the moon. To Arasaka, he's just R&D material with a pulse. Lucy tries to keep him off their radar by silently cleaning up his trail. David, meanwhile, keeps pushing himself harder, thinking that becoming stronger is the best way to protect everyone. The path they're on leads in only one direction, straight into Arasaka's hands. Exoskeleton, betrayal, and the point of no return. Faraday presents a massive job, a direct play in the corporate shadow war with a huge payout and Arasaka all over the target. To survive it, David straps into a monstrous experimental exoskeleton, an oversized cybernetic rig that amplifies his physical power, but tears into his nervous system every time he moves. Lucy begs him to stop. She doesn't want a legend. She wants him alive. David thinks sacrificing himself is the only way to secure a future for both of them. He's wrong. Minnie Hook? When a city is built on exploitation, self-sacrifice is just another product on the shelf. Faraday betrays them, cutting a deal with Arasaka and selling David's crew out. David, already glitching from the exoskeleton and Sandevistan strain, is pushed into the final, inevitable showdown. Lucy gets captured. Rebecca stays. David keeps going forward, even as his mind tears apart. Atom Smasher, the monster at the end. At Arasaka Tower, everything collides. David, half broken but still charging. Lucy, held as leverage. Rebecca, riding with him to the bitter end. Faraday, believing he's in control. And then Atom Smasher arrives. If David is a human pushed past his limits by Chrome, Smasher is what you get when you remove human from the equation completely. He's a full Borg killing machine, a high-functioning monster who enjoys the slaughter and works for Arasaka like a hired apocalypse. If you want more full story, emotionally heavy breakdowns like this, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next.